Welcome to Buy It All, the podcast where three resellers with very different styles talk shop, share stories, and probably argue about who got the better deal of the week. We have Jimmy from Old School Flips, who is all about the hunt for those hidden treasures. Then we got Keith from Vintage Sport Flips, your go-to guy for all the sports nostalgia. And I'm Ray, Triple R Collections. I sell just about anything. If I like it, I flip it. Together, we're breaking down the reselling world. Join us for weekly news, flips, tips, and some laughs. So grab a tape gun, kick back, and let's talk about how we buy it all.
Amazingly,
I like it. Nice delivery.
amazingly done right now. I need you to make sure you stick to the script the entire podcast. You have a script down there. You need to make sure you're reading from it the entire podcast, Ray.
Stick to the entire podcast.
I'm just joking. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the new podcast, because we all need a new reselling podcast. Before we go into anything too crazy though, because one of the things we were talking about when we had a little meeting and talking about this is we want to put this out on Monday mornings when everybody is packing their weekend orders. Like if you like to listen to podcasts while you're doing that, we wanted to make sure we drop it then. So we're going to kind of do this every week. I think we're going to do this every week where we ask you, let us know in the comments. Like we want to know in the comments, what are you packing? Like, what did you sell? Yeah. Maybe we'll bring it up. Maybe it'll give us some topics to talk about in future podcasts, but every week, just let us know, hey, while you're packing, run over to the keyboard and say, I just packed a lot of action figures, or I just packed some baseball bats. Let us know. And that will be some little interaction we can do with you guys. I think it'll be some fun, and because we know we hope that's what you're doing. That's part of our target audience is that everybody that likes to listen to podcasts while they're packing orders. So if that's that, and we're going to talk about that at the beginning of every episode to remind you guys to let us know what you're packing. Now I want to do you guys, Ray, stick to the script on this one. We're going to do a quick introduction of who we are and what we kind of bring to the table. I'll go first real quick. I'm Jimmy, Old School Flips. I'm kind of a YouTuber, TikToker, Facebook content creator. I resell on mainly eBay. I do some live auctions on dibdit.com. And I'm kind of really into toys and video games, but I'll sell just about anything. But collectibles, toys, and video games are the main things I look for. Whoever wants to go next.
I'll take it. Some up top here. So I am Keith, Vintage Sport Flips. That's my YouTube channel, Vintage Sport Flips. Have a card ripping channel too, Rips and Brews. But I sell primarily on eBay, Etsy, and then live stream. Sell a lot on Dibdit and Dibdit cards. And I primarily sell on eBay and Etsy. Focus on sports memorabilia, but I delve into a little bit of everything. Like Ray talked about, anything I think is cool and interesting, I'll buy to flip. And but sports is where my expertise really falls.
And I'm Ray. I'm Triple R Collections. I've been selling on eBay since 2011, but I also sell on Macari, Poshmark. Recently, getting into Etsy a lot. Depop a little bit. And then I kind of started selling at flea markets. So that's kind of how I got into this whole thing. And
oh, nice.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Now,
that's cool.
I'm very upset that I didn't use the word delve like Keith did. I'm mad at myself. Keith went with the I delve into it. I'm like, I sell everything. And Keith's like, I'll delve. I'm just not that good with my words, man.
And
I'm not even making fun of Keith. I'm making fun of me. Like that was
hang out with me. I'll get some vocabulary. You better. I'll give you some fancy vocabulary. But half the time I'll butcher the word. So I think I did delve okay this time. But
no,
I was going to say I dabble.
I dabble, see? And I would have used delve totally incorrectly. Like I would have been like, I got this delve growing on my arm. I don't know what's going on there. Like
that's true.
No, I love see. I can't even think of the word. You have a great what's the word? See, I can't think of
vocabulary.
Vocabulary. See, I failed vocabulary in school. Just saying, miserably. Yeah, so that's who we are. And we kind of had this idea, and I just hid my phone, so I'm already failing, guys. We had another idea. We were gonna ask AI a question. We're gonna ask Chat GPT a question that's about our first topic. And so I'm gonna grab my phone and I'm gonna see if I can I call him Chad. Let's see if I can get Chad dialed up right here. All right, Chad. All right, I got Chad here. Hey, Chad, I had a quick question. So Poshmark recently rolled out a change to their shipping labels. Can you give us a little bit more information on their switch to the USPS Ground Advantage? And then maybe a little bit of information on, I'm guessing they're going to provide some free supplies for USPS Ground Advantage. Anything you can tell us about that?
Poshmark is indeed moving to USPS Ground Advantage for shipping, which should speed things up a bit with delivery times, about 2 to 5 business days. And yes, they're offering free supplies like poly mailers, padded mailers, and boxes to help with the transition. You just need to give them a call and provide your closet name to get those supplies.
You guys, we're done here. You guys can just go. I'm going to talk to Chad for the rest of the
There you go. Yeah.
Your British helper.
He's my British Chad. Chad.
I wish I talked like Chad.
Yeah, so that's kind of our first topic, and I just wanted to confirm. Like Ray kind of brought it up, and I've been hearing rumblings, and I just wanted to kind of confirm that exactly what's going on. And that's our first topic: is that big change. Ray, I think you're going to kind of be our resident expert on Poshmark. I made an account and I've never sold anything on there. Keith, have you ever sold anything on there?
No, I had an account. I had listings in the past, but I never sold anything, and I closed my shop. I bought, but never sold.
It's pretty. I think it's pretty big in some ways. I like the change in some ways because the shipping's going to be cheaper. So obviously, if the prices are cheaper, you're going to get, more interested buyers.
How much are we talking? Do you think?
I mean, it's like a couple dollars cheaper.
Right. Okay.
So, yeah. I mean, it's not bad. The only thing is, I mean, this is the true sign that USPS is really weeding out priority, because priority mail, like packaging, that really Poshmark's the only place I use their packaging.
Yeah,
Sure.
I've stopped using it since they introduced Ground Advantage. I used to use priority mail all the time, and then they switched from first class to Ground Advantage, and I keep a couple boxes just in case, but man, I don't use it. I don't remember the last time I shipped something priority mail, and definitely not flat rate.
Yeah. I mean, occasionally we'll still ship priority if it's something that's an expensive item and it's like $1 more. Sometimes I'll upgrade it. Probably don't need to, but
I used to do that, but I'm even finding that that's like the price is so far apart that I'm not doing. And then I find that UPS Ground is like but I get that upgrading for your buyer. That's good. That's always a good idea if you can do it.
Yeah, if it's close in price, I'll do it. But
I mean, it's crazy because you would be able to use any priority mail packaging previously. Like if it didn't matter if it was flat rate or whatever, you could use that. So for clothing, I wasn't using my own poly mailers. I was using the flat rate bubble mailers.
Oh wow.
Really? And you would get a flat rate label for it?
No, there's no flat rate label. They would just count it. Like it would be like a small little kind of notification on the bottom of the shipping label, and it would just say that you can use it for all that label for all.
So they had a special label. Again, I've never used Poshmark, so that's why I was going to ask you. Give me an idea of what a Poshmark label was like. So that's important. That I did not know that. So they did everything priority mail before. Everything. Did Poshmark like on eBay? We kind of handle the labels. We get the money in, we buy the label, and then does Poshmark give you a label?
Yeah. As soon as a buyer buys the item, they send you the label or whatever. And
so they handle the label side of it. Gotcha.
So it's more like Whatnot in that sense, where the Whatnot just get
Whatnot, Macari.
Okay.
Yeah. I myself and the two platforms I use, I really like that I have control of the label situation. I don't know that the only other time I've dealt with that was Whatnot when they would get, and I had a huge fiasco with Whatnot when they would send me the labels. And I now don't prefer that, but I guess Posh kind of had it dialed in though, right?
Yeah. Cause I mean, you could, what was it? Was it 12 or 15 pounds you could ship up to, something like that. It was crazy. I never had to really ship that high of a weight, but yeah, you could ship, like you could have somebody come in, bundle a bunch of orders, like items together in one order, and it's at one flat rate. There's no more, it doesn't go up.
So like if they had a bunch of orders, you could just, that's that.
Yeah.
Now, are
That's
you going to
great for
be
buyer and seller.
are you going to be taking advantage of those free supplies? Have you found out about that yet? Like that's kind of crazy.
I haven't done it yet because it's kind of a pain. They're making everybody call up, or and it's so
like the
backed up.
rotary phone, like
Yeah, there's no system on their app or website for us to order shipping supplies.
So
And
they are literally using the rotary phone. Like
it's so backed up.
Internet back here.
It's so backed up. They told everybody that the best thing to do is, I mean, people are leaving voicemails and stuff, but the best thing to do is actually email now.
Yeah, so, I was shocked when Chad said that because what kind of companies asking you to call? I mean, companies are trying to avoid calls. You can't even call.
That's why they have one. Yeah. They have one customer service rep. That's it. They have the one person sitting in an office by themselves handling every single call.
It's probably AI.
It's probably AI.
Yeah, it's probably Chad taking the calls.
It's just one person. They wanted it to be insufficient as possible. Like they wanted no efficiency. Like they wanted it to they wanted the funnel to stop at that one person.
Yeah.
And so that's what's going on right now. Do you know, I heard Chad, I didn't ask Chad because I would have asked Chad. Are the supplies from Posh or the supplies from USPS?
So they say they're from USPS. Like in the email or something I got, it said that you don't worry, USPS is completely stocked up on this supplies.
Don't worry. I mean, that's where you're screwed. The second they said don't worry, you might as well just close your Posh account and just stop.
I mean, it's
wasn't
not really
like a year
that
ago. Was it like a year ago that there was rumors that USPS was going to come out with Ground Advantage boxes, and that never really came to fruition unless it was all saved up for Poshmark, maybe. I don't know.
The thing I don't like about that idea is like I've always felt like that's what I felt like with Priority is the cost of the box is kind of built into the price of the label. I mean, I always kind of felt that with Priority. I feel like if they mass produce boxes and we're sending them out, I think eventually you'd almost see I mean, I know the price always increases, but you might see a bigger increase to kind of absorb the cost of the materials.
Yeah, maybe. I'm sure people do.
Yeah.
I mean, my concern is people are going to use their Poshmark supplies on eBay, whenever you ship out orders, and that's what's going to happen.
Because now it's not just like, oh, does it have a Priority sticker? Like, it used to be like easy for the post office. If you have a Ground Advantage sticker on a Priority mail, that's easy for them to flag. But how are they going to confirm? Like, are they going to take the time to confirm that that's a Posh label on that Posh package? I said Posh package. That's right, gentlemen. I said Posh package live on air, or not live.
Or people will be using the Posh packages for UPS anyway, because I mean, you can send anything through UPS, right? A Priority mail tube or whatever you want. Not that you should do that. I don't do that, but people do. I know.
Ray, we just gave you the perfect excuse to say Posh package too. Keith said it.
Posh package. All right,
I'm gonna make a Kevin Commonwealth joke right there if you want.
I'm gonna have to have a Posh package of the week every week now.
Yeah, there you go.
That's. I think that kind of delves into the fact that Kevin had manscaping on his screen once. Sorry, Kevin. I hope he's not. I mean, I hope he's watching. Sorry, Kevin. I used delve.
You guys used it right too. I like it. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah. So I mean, what? So this kind of leans into what I want to know about, like with the fourth quarter coming up, with that phone. Like right now, we're supposed to be stocking up on supplies, right? Fourth quarter, everybody, we're resellers. We love to talk about the fourth quarter, right? So like, we should be stocking up with that phone line being one person answering it, and those people wanting to stock up on their fourth quarter supplies. Do you go a different route? Like, let's talk a little bit about, like, are you guys ordering supplies right now? Like I am for fourth quarter. Like, you guys stock up? Like, because I've also noticed there have been shortages sometimes around this of supplies.
I got like a ton of packages or boxes in the mail this week. I've been stocking up.
I've been buying boxes. I'm gonna buy more. I'm gonna buy more this week. I got a couple more things I gotta load up on.
Yeah, I definitely have to load up on boxes right now. I found a buyout, like a big buyout at Ollie's of poly mailers earlier this year. Nice. And I literally probably have enough to last me for 5 years.
Ollie's sells bubble mailers, huh?
No, they're poly mailers, and they don't usually. I don't think they'll get shipping supplies in every once in a
Poly
while,
mailer.
and I'll check it out, and
I always
worth
get
looking.
those confused. I don't sell enough clothes to ever tell. I never think. To me, I'm not gonna. This is awful. We used to send all of our clothes in bubble mailers. We didn't even have poly mailers. Such a waste of money. And then I recently was like, "What? We're starting to sell more clothes now. Like, let's buy some poly mailers." And because I used to use my eBay ones, it's not a waste of money. I got the eBay ones for free.
Yeah.
Fourth quarter's coming up. Make sure you use your discount code. And so I would use those for the clothes because I got them for free. I like doing that for free. And so now I'm like, man, we're starting to use more of these free ones. I need to maybe buy some cheap, really cheap poly mailers. So we have done that. But yeah, stocking up on supplies. If you're a listener, now's the time. And just make sure I get my order in first so they don't run out of supplies.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good. There's nothing worse than you use the last box and you go to where you keep your boxes and there's nothing there. And it like totally messes you up. I mean, Amazon Prime is good, but it's still a couple days. Boxes are never the next day. You could probably get a toothbrush tomorrow morning, but boxes are still 3 days from Amazon. So,
even something else to consider this time of year. Remember, everybody goes up in prices.
Yeah.
So the sooner the better you order
Ray,
stuff.
Dropping the knowledge, Ray. That's very important. No, that's right. Prices do go. And now, because there are people that don't buy their boxes, like do the dumpster diver box scavengers, like do they have to get out there a little extra to get more boxes this time of year? Let us know in the comments if that's what you do. I'm halfway joking. I like to have fun and joke, but like, do you scavenge for, I'll use the word scavenge for your boxes. Do you have and let us know where you get your boxes, and this time of year, do you have a place that you go to make sure you have a couple extra boxes? A lot of people like to recycle, and I have nothing against that. I like to have the box on the shelf kind of guy, ready to go. So when I sell something, it's just boom in the box and out the door. It's a posh package going out the door.
I mean, I'll recycle boxes from my work. They get a lot of great boxes with awesome padding in it. I'll take them home. But like taking those kind of boxes, they take up a ton of space compared to a pile of 25 flat boxes. So it'd be tough for scavenging.
You have to break them down, and that takes time itself. And
like when I broke them down, I was like, I'd be making 10 boxes till I found the right size box that I needed.
They don't have the measurements right on there,
so like I would literally write the size of the box on there because I didn't want to. I was like, that definitely happened. I'd make a box. That's not even the right shape of box.
And you got to Frankenstein it and all that.
Other things about the fourth quarter, like what, as far as your store, like, are there things, like, I'm gonna tell you right now, like I've always done this, and it really boosts my sales in the fourth quarters. I just listed all my Halloween stuff. I just listed my jackets. I also ended and sold similar on any leftover Halloween stuff from last year.
Nice.
And then this weekend, I'm pulling out all my Christmas stuff, and I'm listing all my Christmas. So I keep for the summer and spring and summer, I keep what I call a Christmas death pile and a Halloween death pile and a coat death pile. And I only do it because I really it's probably just feeding my simple mind, but like I like that boost of sales this time of year. And that, like, I listed jackets. I'm selling Carhartts like crazy. My sales numbers are way up. I just sold $150 Carhartt yesterday. Like and the season does help. They sell a little bit faster, and they do Christmas stuff and Halloween stuff definitely does sell a little bit more, except for asterisks, the really rare collectible stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Do you guys do anything like that?
I don't necessarily do anything seasonally like Halloween or Christmas. I don't have a ton of that stuff in general, but what I'm going to try to do for this holiday season, especially on Etsy, like I saw a lot on Etsy, and there's a ton of gift givers on Etsy. Mm-hmm. So I sort of skewed my business model on Etsy, where I used to sell like high-end antiques, trophies. I've like scaled to like where I try to move like lower price merchandise on Etsy, like a $25 pennant. That's an easy gift for somebody to buy. but
Mhm.
they're probably not going to buy a $600 trophy for their husband, but
Right.
$25 pennant, an easy purchase.
Gifts.
So
Gifts is a
yeah.
great, like, yeah, that's good.
So I'm going to try to really, I have thousands of pennants that are like in that. I brought them to the National in Chicago. I was selling them for
Yep.
$10
Man,
each.
I follow those piles of pins.
Mm,
Yeah. But I could put them on Etsy for 25 shipped and they're going to sell. So
Yeah.
that's my main goal over the next couple of weeks, get a ton of them up in bulk. Cause I have like multi quantity of every one. So it'd be like 30 of this one, 20 of that one. So
that's good.
that's my goal.
Yeah, I primarily, I think, as it gets closer to Christmas, I try to focus on all my new goods, like anything that's new with tags, because I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of people, they don't want to buy a pre-owned item as a gift. Like,
Yep.
Right.
so that's what I dive into. I try to see what I have in my spare room that is all my unlisted inventory, my death pile.
Yep.
And I'm just digging through, okay, what's new with tags, what's new in the box, and that and toys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, as far as like gift idea stuff, like decorations, I think people love to buy used decorations, but like gift
Yeah.
ideas, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
And I agree.
think, yeah, that's the exception.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
I want to ask Ray, like, because again, I feel like you're but no, Keith too. The flea market. Like, I don't do flea markets at all. First of all, do you sell at the flea market in the winter? And do you see a lot of shoppers for anything holiday related at the flea market? Is that even a thought, or is that just flea market just kind of stays the flea market the same way all year round?
I mean, Ray, I'll leave that to you because you sell there. I barely ever. I've sold a couple times.
You
I
at
mean,
flea
shop
markets,
there
but
more, right?
I don't sell like very often. I just kind of pop up, but
okay.
I mean, I try to not really set up during the colder months. So my local flea market used to be basically an all indoor flea market, and then all the other outdoor flea markets around here closed. Like the closest ones, they closed, and so they had this brilliant idea that they're gonna like take half the parking lot and turn that into a outdoor flea market also with the indoor.
Right.
And it gets so cold and miserable. There's not that many vendors outside, and it gets so crowded to try to set up inside, and it's just a madhouse, especially around Christmas. Yeah, I really don't set up too much, but I do look out like if somebody has some holiday decor or something like that.
Maybe that's a question for the viewers in the comments. Like if you live in Florida or Arizona or somewhere, one of those nice weather states, I'm sure the flea markets have to be pretty good during the holiday season.
I mean,
Like,
I shop at flea markets year round. I'll go and it's like 5 degrees out. And some of my they're my channel where I'm like freezing. My hands are like red and so cold. But yeah, they happen all year round. But you might go to my normal flea market and there'll be like 20 dealers there, whereas right now, this morning, there's probably 200 dealers. So it's a lot different, but you still can find stuff.
You don't see any kind of uptick in like holiday type stuff, or is it just kind of a year-round thing?
I do. I mean, there's some deal like where I set up. I have a indoor like antique flea market booth every Sunday, and there's Christmas dealers. There's people there that sell Christmas stuff year round, but definitely on the holiday season, you'll see like people planning seasonally in their booths. Yeah,
I have a local friend who has a booth, and she's on Facebook, and she just put all of her Halloween stuff in her booth. Like she put pictures of like her booth, how she overhauled, she moved everything out and moved in all the Halloween stuff. So I know like for a booth, she's definitely going into her vintage and antique Halloween decorations this time of year.
Yeah, my dad sells a lot of stuff like that too this time of year. He'll buy like antique, like a regular cabinet photo of like a wedding from the 20s or 1910, and he'll paint like a scene, make them ghosts or make them.
What?
It's pretty.
That's
it sells
awesome.
pretty well. Yeah, he's an artist, an amateur artist, but they're pretty cool.
That's cool. I'd like to see some of his work. Does he do logos, man?
No, never done a logo. I'll see if I can find one of the photos of his work. There's some cool ones he's done.
Yeah, I guess we should. Because we don't have a logo down here yet. We're working on that. We'll talk about. But
yeah,
we're the Buy It All podcast. We need a logo. So we need if he's an artist, he could take like an old wedding photo and somehow turn that into the Buy It All.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, something like that.
Maybe if he had a picture of an old garage sale and he put painted Buy It All into that old garage sale.
Yeah, like a little mercantile store. But I like it. Not a bad idea.
Yeah, anything else on fourth quarter, like anything else you guys do that you could think of that you do to prepare for the fourth quarter? Because it is again, it feels like it's an overkill topic, but that there's a question I have for you guys. Do you think the fourth quarter is a real thing? Like, as far as, do you see a real uptick in your sales from the fourth quarter? I definitely do
Yeah.
because of my strategy.
Yeah, I definitely do. I think less on eBay because what I sell, like the collectibles, I mean, that they sell, I don't see a huge uptick, but Etsy, like I would say 75% of my Etsy sales are like October, November, December. Like
Really,
it's
what do you
that
sell on Etsy?
pennants, a lot of pennants.
Wow. Hmm.
Yeah.
So I'm getting
Yeah.
on there on a good time. I feel like.
Yeah, absolutely. No, Etsy's great. Right around now is when it's going to start to take off.
So that's
Yeah.
why maybe I should look into Etsy. I've never tried, and I tried. What was the other one? The one that had the app. Is Macari still a thing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I sell on there.
I tried Macari. I sold a couple things on Macari. It also came down to labels with them. That's why I left there, because they couldn't format my labels right. They could not get it. Back then they did not have the 9x, or was it the 9x6? Is that what it is? Or is it 6x? What's the size of it? 4x6, 6x4.
6x4, I think.
6x4 label. They couldn't format it to that, and so like I literally had to print it. I had to print it on paper and cut it out and all that stuff.
You could also do the QR codes on there too if you need to.
They've made some adjustments. I mean, this was 3 years ago. Back then, there was a big topic in the reselling world about how Macari can't get the labels right. Like they cannot be. They're not 4x6 capable. Now I know they've fixed everything, but back then it was a pain in the butt.
Yeah, well, that's good. At least they fixed it. I sold on Macari. I think I still have it in Macari listings, but it's been months since I sold anything, or probably last year.
Right. Another thing that happens a lot, going in the fourth quarter, something that happens a lot in the fourth quarter, I want to kind of dive into this we're not going to delve into this. We're going to dive into this. Like cancellations. You're going to see a lot of them. You're going to see people put in orders. The cancellation will come right away. The cancellation will come that night. The cancellation will come after the request. The cancellation request.
Yep.
So let's talk about how each of us handle them. What are our advice to people? I myself, when I get a cancellation request, I'm like, whatever, I'm gonna sell that item to somebody else. Like, I don't care. I don't want to deal with that. I don't want to deal with that buyer anyways. So cancel, relist, whatever. Be done with it. Get it, put it back on the shelf. Obviously, if it's out the door, I'm not doing that. If it's packed and out the door, I'm not even gonna try to mess with that. But and in general, not just this time of year, in general, like, how do you guys deal with cancellation requests? Do you ship them the items?
I don't like. I mean, unless it's already packed up, I took the time, because like time is money to me.
Yeah,
and that's how I view that. If you wait, a lot of times by the time I packed it, it's probably already, most of the time it's already been like it could be 12 hours later. And there's no way.
You got plenty of time to cancel.
Yeah, what I do for it is I take a little bit of Tim over the years strategy. I know Tim is I'm not a full Tim over the years strategy guy where he like sees a cancellation and sprints to the printer, prints the label. But my policy that I have for myself is, if I do any work towards getting that product out the door, if I pull it out of my inventory, go to the warehouse, pull it out of the SKU, pull it out of my inventory, and that cancellation comes in after I do that, I'm shipping it. I'm not, if I've already put, time is money, as Ray said, and I'm a busy guy. If I've already taken the time, which means that cancellation did not come immediate. If they're like 10 minutes later, I made a mistake or whatever, then obviously I wouldn't have pulled it yet. But if I've already contributed anything time-wise to like shipping that item out, then I don't take the cancellation and I ship it. And mainly because eBay, they don't force you to do it. They can't leave you negative feedback if you don't accept their cancellation.
Really?
Yeah. I think that was when eBay set that policy to make it easier on people to request a cancellation. They said that the buyer could not leave negative feedback if you didn't accept it.
I didn't know that. And so what about returns? Like
I've
if they,
yet to get one. Yeah, I expected I would, but I've never gotten one.
how many
On
times do you think that happens to you?
returns in general?
No, the cancellation request that you ship out.
I would say like maybe 40% of the time I ended up shipping it out. Like I had 2 this week that I
No, but
accepted
like,
the cancellations.
let's
But
say in the last 6 months, how many have you physically actually had that happen and you sent it out?
I would say like 10.
10? Okay.
10 that I shipped out. Yeah. I don't get a ton of cancellations, but I would say maybe, and then like 25, maybe I accepted the cancellation, which a couple this week
I
happened.
didn't know that was a thing. I mean,
yeah.
I didn't know that was even part. Yeah, I mean, I will probably still just accept it, even when I pull. The only time I won't, like I said, is if I've boxed it, it's going out the door. If I've, sometimes you get that request where they like, oh, the label almost reminds them that they wanted to cancel. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I'll get an order at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'm not shipping it till later that night, and so like sometimes I'll make that label, and that'll I wanted to cancel that, and then they'll be like, no.
Yeah.
It's going out the door. All right.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I didn't know that about they can't. Basically, you're protected in many ways. I would, the biggest one though would still be, well, obviously the feedback would be important, but you haven't had any returns. People just they still take it even though they tried to cancel.
I will say my store is set to like not accept returns. Now you obviously have to accept returns when it's like something not right with the item.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
But
if the people that know how to work the system would lie and say all they did. I mean, let's just be honest. You can lie and say, I don't even like talking about that, but you can lie and say there's something wrong with it and return it.
I got kind of something like that right now I'm dealing with. They hit that I sent the wrong item.
Oh, but you didn't, obviously.
No, and they stayed in there saying that they bought the wrong item. They literally sent a picture of the item they bought, and then they say that they didn't look at it right and they bought the wrong one, but they selected that I shipped the wrong item.
Now I know there's options there, like as far as if you can, when you get the item back and you can show that there's options there too. And everybody as sellers, I agree, do whatever you can. I'm on your side. Whatever you can to prevent it, protect yourself from it, like use all the options that eBay gives you. If someone tries to return something like that, I don't have in-depth details but if you can prove that there was nothing wrong with it, you have options as far as the amount of refund you have to give and stuff like that. And you can even get eBay involved and stuff. Definitely use all those tools that are available to you. But most of the time I just ship it out anyway.
Yeah.
Or take the cancellation.
Accept the cancellation.
Accept the cancellation. Yeah. So.
And I will say it. A lot of it depends to me. I mean, like I said, if I see it before I pull the item, and especially if it's the message that comes along with it, sometimes it's like, oh, this was a mistake, or then if they write a message that I find makes sense.
To me, this is an important question. This would be an important question about cancellations that I will definitely, from this point forward, flip-flop on. Because I've seen the reason, and I've heard that eBay's behind this reason too. Now, I'm like a really positive eBay guy. Like I'm probably overly positive how much I like eBay, and I like my partnership with eBay. But like I've heard that I've gotten the reason found a better price. Yep. And there's rumblings, and maybe someone can verify. I like facts on something like this. Is eBay showing them after they bought it from me better prices? Like actively, like what's the word? Like advertising to them. You just bought this, but this one's cheaper, and then they go and buy that one, and then they select cancellation reason, found a better price. You guys know? Have you guys heard that? Like, is that a thing?
I assume it probably is a thing. I mean, maybe not exactly like that, where they said this was cheaper, but like at the bottom of the screen where you might like this too, kind of thing, and they see that's cheaper. Because I got the one cancellation I got maybe yesterday was found it cheaper. So whether that was through eBay's promotion and they saw it lower on the screen,
or someone sent them an offer, maybe.
Yeah, I expect that is eBay's doing, where they're just trying to promote sales, not necessarily geared to like taking the sale away from you, but
Now that's a cancellation that I would highly consider. No, you can't cancel.
I think it also depends though on the web browser. I notice when I cross post items, say if I'm cross posting even like from eBay to Macari, Poshmark or whatever, it'll be like a little pop up that comes up and it'll say that, hey, you can find this cheaper, and it'll point to the original eBay listing or something. Because sometimes I'm doing process of marking items down, and say I'll mark it down on eBay or something, and I haven't marked it down somewhere. It depends on the browser, because a browser will tell you, hey, the same exact item is available on this other site.
Some sort of like shopping widget or something.
That's shady. That to me, I don't like that. eBay, I don't like it. Make it go away. That's shiesty. Shady, shiesty, delve. No.
Word of the day. That's a podcast word of the day.
Here, we're gonna have a word of the day.
I just kind of like that word. I'm not trying to make fun of you.
I use word. I'll do that at my regular job. I use like some words just to like sound smarter.
No, and like that could almost be like a cool name. Hey, Delve, how's it going?
That is cool. Yeah, Delvin. Delve short.
No, here that brings me, because what made me think of that, the found a better price. I just shipped that record out again today. I sold it again. No law. This person was not smart that returned this item to me. They selected their reasoning as for the return, found a better price. Well, guess what, buddy? When you return it, I don't have to select refund original shipping. Nice. And you better believe, because of your reasoning, I deducted the cost of the return. No, I don't have to. And I deducted the cost of the return shipping label as well. So,
sorry, man. So you paid more.
By the time it was all said and done and you found your better price, like I kept the shipping. The shipping money I kept was like $15. Like whatever better price you found on a $40 item, I know you didn't find if you found a $15 better price, I kept that money. So like, what are you doing? Like,
yeah, it's crazy because eBay used to allow restocking fees.
Yeah,
and I think since they took that away, and I think that kind of helped that too, because you would have that in your listing. And they're like, okay, maybe I don't, but I don't know. Maybe it deterred people from buying it. At the same time, I don't want to buy something that if something happens and I don't need it anymore, then I'm going to pay this restocking fee.
Yeah.
Did either of you guys ever use that restocking fee? I never used it.
I think my mom, she's also an eBay seller, and she used to, when she had like large quantities of the same item.
What's the fee that you can do on the front end? Handling. Do you guys do the handling fees?
Sometimes I do. Maybe if it's an item I know I'll need like a $2 or $3 box, I'll put a couple dollars in the handling.
Right.
Yeah, not many items though.
Do you guys do anything? Let me ask you this. Like, I'll tell you a little about how I ship to kind of cover the cost of my, at least the box. Hopefully, is I offer calculated shipping with the eBay discount. So I forward my eBay discount to the buyer, and what I do is I weigh the item when I'm picturing it, and if it's under a pound, I round up to the next, the 4 ounce, every 4 ounces the price. Well, I round up to the next, to make sure that it's
makes sense.
Whatever I get for the label, I get the value of the next level up on my, my shipping cost. And then if it's over a pound, then I pick a bigger box than it would have to go into to, make sure that, again, they pay a little bit more for their shipping label than what I'm going to pay for it when I go to ship it out, to try to cover the cost of my box. Sometimes I don't fully cover the box. Sometimes I cover the cost of 3 boxes. Sometimes I cover depending on how much, do you guys do anything like that? Like that would work. I've been told I should use the handling for that. But I feel like it's not, I don't want to say I'm not tricking anybody, but like they're not seeing the extra charge. Like they think that's what the label actually costs type thing.
But I wonder if they, in the handling, and I don't know the answer to this, in the handling fee, does that show to the buyer it's like $6 shipping and a $2 handling fee, or it just shows $8?
That's the total shipping. That's a good
I would
question.
assume it's the
Yeah.
latter.
That would
So-
make sense. The only reason I wouldn't is because I'm learning about this whole the trade commission thing, and you have to be fully transparent about a lot of the stuff you're doing to
Yeah.
not try to fool the consumer.
Sure.
And that would be, to me, maybe a little bit of. But then what I'm doing is an exact. Yeah, I don't. I don't know. Do you guys do anything like that though? Anything like that? What are your shipping? How do you guys ship? Do you flat rate? What do you guys do? Sorry.
I do calculated, but I was gonna touch base on too the handling fee. I probably stopped using that because I can never find it in the app, and if it's not in the app and readily available for me to click, I list on my phone. I never see it in there.
Maybe that's why I don't think I've ever seen it either.
I only list on my computer, so I don't. I mean, I'll make drafts on my phone, but I do all the listing on my laptop.
And so you see it right there. It's easy.
Yeah,
It's
right
there.
below the shipping. And for me, I use calculated maybe like 10% of my listings, like some of the bigger items, but most of the time I can get a sense of where the shipping will be. Like all my pennants are $6, and that usually gives me a little bit of room to cover the box price.
You said that's flat rate is what you do?
Flat rate, yeah.
You do?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, I missed the first part of that. You do only certain things flat rate, or do you do everything?
I would say 90% flat rate, 10% calculated. If it's like a bigger item and it's, it's gonna be hard to predict the difference between California or,
Yeah, I was gonna say
Jersey.
the thing I miss about flat rate, because I used to do that too. I used to, I memorized the cost of each zone, each level, and I would make sure I'd round way up.
Yeah.
When you sell something to New York from where you're at, like that's yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You're making quite a bit extra on the label because you have it priced more to what it would be like if it went to California.
Yep.
From where you're at in Philly. So yeah.
Oh yeah, we've all done that. Yeah. I sold these 3 big Disney play sets this week, and 2 of them went to California, and I saw that. I'm like, dang. And I had it set to calculate shipping, but I actually messed up. I underestimated the weight, so I ended up losing shipping on one. But then I fixed it for the next one. But yeah.
The problem with calculating, I had this where it was very, very scary because I was shipping, I think it was a Britney Spears cardboard cutout stand-up. And I think that's what it was.
Huh? Selling it from the old personal collection, huh?
Yeah. No, actually, I think I bought 8 of them. I still have stuff.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you bought 8 of them.
Yeah.
They're all stood up in my room. That's the only place I could find to put them. They kind of stare at me while I'm sleeping. It's a little weird, but hey,
I got one right over here in the corner. She's folded in half, though. I only see her bottom half. That's it.
Whoa. Posh pack,
but besides point, it was like a 1-inch difference. I had to cut down the box, and it was going to be like $200 more just off 1 inch.
Yeah.
Brittany, oh my gosh, I don't even know where to go with that. But that's that. So that's important because there's so man, I'm trying not to say like the word length and stuff like that, like on a box, because like on a golf club box, that length sometimes all has to go, especially on USPS. That's why I use UPS ground, but like even if you do a longer golf club box, and I think if it goes over 5x5, the price skyrockets too, or something like that too. So like it's always important to make sure you learn those things, learn those dimensions, like on a longer, like let's say a 40-inch box, even through UPS ground. Because what happened to me, I think it's if it goes over 5x5. I'm not 100% sure on this. I know there's somebody, I don't know that because we probably have 3 viewers for this first episode. But if you're watching, if it goes over 5x5, the price spikes. And what happened to me was I used a 5x5 by 40. I think it was right around 40. And I got charged back because they said it was over 5. And the chargeback was like $8 or something like that.
And who is that through?
UPS ground.
But what did you use pirate ship or
No,
how do you
I
ship?
used eBay shipping,
Oh, you use eBay ship. Okay.
and it said in the reason like it was 6x6x40 instead of, or 6x5x40 or something like that. And then that one side of 5, their machinery measured it as rounded up from the 5, and so I think I did a test. I should test that. Like I think I went into pirate ship just to see, and I changed the dimensions to 6x5x40, and it did go up a lot.
Hmm.
That could have changed since then, but you always got to be careful. Like, so here's a tool that I recommend. This is what I did. So I had that Lotus lamp. Do you guys remember? Did you guys see that on my Instagram? You know what a Lotus lamp is? It's a decorative lamp that has like, it's a bigger lamp. It was like a 3.5 foot tall lamp, and it's got like these flower heads on it where the lamp is.
Okay.
Anyways, I had one of those and I was shipping it. First thing that I thought was very important because it was very fragile, I packaged that first. I took all the heads off, I put them in boxes, and I got it all into one box. I had it on my shelf packed and ready to go. I just made sure I took really good pictures in case anybody had questions. And I even did a video of me taking it apart so they can put it back together. But the important thing I did there is I had a package ready to go, but then I'm in Ohio. And for me, the most expensive place to ship to is like Southern California. So I literally went into Google Maps and I found a McDonald's in Southern California and got their address. And I wanted to make sure right to that address. I know you can put the zip code. I could have just got their zip code. And then I went into pirate ship and did a fake, label to that McDonald's, and I saw how much it cost. So that way, when I think, what, where was it? Because I didn't do flat rate. That didn't make sense.
I
Yeah,
I do
I've done
something
that when it's
similar.
flat rate. Yeah.
I do
I guess
something similar with the address. I was gonna say I do instead of McDonald's, I do Walmart because there's a Walmart everywhere too.
Oh, you're a Walmart guy. Huh?
I
Yeah.
use 90210, Beverly Hills 90210. That's what
Oh,
I
that's
use.
a good
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah.
See, look at you delving into 90210.
Yeah. Well, pop
Gosh,
culture.
darn it, man. He's got all the good ideas. That's a great idea.
That's the only
didn't
zip
I
code in
think of-
California I know by heart.
I
So-
saw, you know what? I used to do that when I did flat rate, but now I just make sure I boxed it and had the dimensions and the weight, and then I round it up. So yeah, I didn't do that. I did do that. I think I just did that because I wanted to have an idea of how much it would cost.
Yeah.
But
That's what you should do if you're doing it flat rate though, right?
You're
You
doing
get to
flat rate,
that way
you
you're
should
maxed
do,
out, and if you ship it to New York, you're making a little money on the shipping.
you're making a ton
probably.
of money on the
Yeah.
shipping in that
Yeah.
case. And I
Yeah.
can't believe I shipped that dang lamp to California too, by the way.
Oh, you
And
did.
that lady paid $98 shipping for that lamp. But
Dang.
it was a company. The company that made it was based out of California, like back in the 90s or whatever. So I don't know if that had anything to do with it. But yeah,
Yeah.
Thankfully, I had 2 of those lamps. The other one I sold locally for
it's
quite a
awesome.
discount, but I don't care. I didn't have to ship it.
Yeah. Time.
Right?
It always surprises me what people pay for shipping, like what
Oh,
they're willing to pay sometimes. Whether even like you get a global order
yeah.
and you're like,
Oh, yeah.
what? Like they paid $100 to ship this little thing.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Sometimes like it doesn't even make sense. Like, why are you, like you can't get this over there? Like, I'm trying to think of like what's the most expensive. I think that's probably the most expensive domestic. Is that the right word? Domestic shipping I've ever done was that $98 for that Lotus lamp.
I had a massive panoramic photo that I sold probably about 8 years ago, a long time ago at this point, but it was like 6 feet long, glass frame. It was massive. And actually, the guy who bought it was in South Carolina, and I had like a local guy, like not a local guy, but one of those, like, I guess they had a TV show where you could they put bids in on the shipping and they come pick it up and
Oh yeah, I
transport it.
watched that show.
Oh,
yeah.
Yeah. So I had a guy like that do it. It was like $600 or something for him to drive it to South Carolina, but the buyer paid for it. But that's the
Really?
most expensive thing I've shipped.
How
Yeah.
does eBay handle that as far as shipping time and all that stuff? Do they work
Well,
with you? Or you just
that was a
kinda-
private sale, so it was off
Private
eBay.
sale,
It was somebody I knew. Yeah.
Because I found a rare Jaws movie poster one time. And I sold that on eBay. And when I bought it, I had no idea. I bought a bunch of posters. I had no idea that, that gem was in there. It was a $700 poster. And someone in California bought it. and they asked me how I'm gonna ship it. I'm like, I'm just gonna, I don't know, I'm gonna wrap it around a pool noodle and then put it in a box and ship it to you. And he was really nice. He's like, let me send you a tube with instructions on how I'd like to make sure this gets here safe. Problem was, I'm supposed to ship it out the next day.
Yeah.
And I have to wait for their tube from California to get to Ohio. Then I got to pack it up and send it back to them. I just ate it on that one. Like I kind of just took the ding on my top seller rating, shipping time uploaded on time and stuff like that. But that was really interesting. And when I got it, man, like it was a really solid tube, and it had like inside it, you pull out, and it had this whole bag, and inside the bag was craft paper, and inside the craft paper was like another tube. And he was like, it was literally like put this poster between the two pieces of craft paper, then roll them around the inner tube that I put it, the inner tube, then put it inside the bag, then put the bag inside the big tube,
Oh, wow.
and then ship it. And then use this tape to tape the ends. They put like little pieces of tape in there for me, like the tape with the thread inside of it and stuff. It was wild. Like I had never, but I get it. Like they must be like a museum or something that's trying to preserve, because especially with ended up that Jaws whatever anniversary was coming up not long after that. I just wondered, and there's like a museum out there and stuff. I wonder if that's who I shipped it to.
I don't know if I would have went that far.
Just because $700 sale.
Yeah, but I mean, $700. There might be, if it's going to museum, there's somebody else that probably wouldn't mind having it either.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's
at least he saved on the shipping supplies too. You didn't have to buy the tube.
Yeah, and no, I still had to buy the label. Yeah, they paid for the label, but I bought the label through UPS Ground.
Okay.
Yeah. The thing was I had to wait. They paid to ship their tube to me though. I didn't pay for that. They paid for that. Yeah. They just asked for my address, and so I gave them my address, and I just waited for the tube. But yeah, the only thing was like when I went back and looked at my seller rating and all the stuff, I could see that I had that one. I had more than one, but that one showed up on there as not being uploaded on time, not shipped on time, and all that stuff.
You might have been on gotten it removed though.
My experience with eBay, and I kind of agree with them now. Like, because once this goes way back to when I bought a big Pokemon collection, and they just introduced that shipping thing they do with the cards, and half of the Pokemon cards I was selling, the tracking was not either being uploaded at all or ever being updated or showing delivered and blah. And so I didn't even know it was happening. And I look over and all my top rated things were like down, like big time. And I was going to lose top rated. And when I called eBay, they said, at that time, this was like 4 or 5 years ago, 5 years ago, probably. At that time, they said, we don't act until you actually lose top rated. If you lose top rated, call us. At the time, you could call them, and we will fix all the ones that need to be fixed and see if you're back to your top rated. Yeah, that's not
my experience.
I have now things might have changed. I have concierge, Ray, so understand that. I was talking to a concierge.
Well, they always tell me if I wait too long, they can't remove the older ones. So they say best thing to do is call right away, because if you wait too long, like you wait a month or two, they're like, oh no, we can't take care of it.
Things could have changed, but that was 5 years ago. That was the conversation.
No, this has been as long as I can remember, but yeah, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. I lost top rated. I called them and they fixed it. They did fix it. So that it wasn't until I lost it, and then called them up, gave them the list, and when we went through with the lady on the phone, we went through every single one. Yeah. And I'll remove that one. Okay, I'll remove that one. And they fixed it, and then the next day I was back to top rated.
Okay.
Nice.
So I mean, it wasn't. I was like, no, whatever. You need to fix this now. And she was like, no, we're not gonna. We won't actually do anything until you. But if you've had them removed, then isn't that kind of a thing with eBay too? That like it almost feels like everybody gets kind of mixed.
It varies. I think everybody's experience varies from rep to rep. You get a rep that doesn't know what they're talking about, and you got one that's very knowledgeable,
Yeah.
One that just pushes the problem off to somebody else because they don't feel
Yeah.
like dealing with it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they got rid of concierge, so I don't. But I still can request a callback, and I get a callback. They're just not calling it. I don't know if you watched my former podcast, Reseller Leftover. Shout out to those guys. I would talk about a lot. When I went to the eBay Open in 2018 and 2019, part of paying for your ticket was getting concierge. So I got concierge from that. And
Nice.
they got rid of concierge, but I don't know. And let me know in the comments. I still push a button on my eBay, it says have us call you. I push that. Within 3 minutes, I get a call back
Nice.
to this day. Like if I
Where
did
is
that
that
right
button?
now,
Look, 'cause I can have them call me too. I don't know.
did you go to the eBay Open? Did we meet?
No.
Do I know you? Did you and Brittany come to the eBay Open and I didn't know about it? Britney Spears. That was Britney.
Taylor,
Yeah,
wasn't
yeah.
it Taylor Swift?
Yeah.
Or was it Britney
So,
Spears?
yeah.
Him and Taylor.
So you can do that too. So maybe I'm not special, and then I'm gonna just go cry myself
Yeah.
to sleep tonight.
Sorry,
Just
Jimmy.
find
I
out
don't-
I'm not special.
You're not special.
Well, I wanted to know that. Like on joking aside, like I don't know if everybody has. Like I just push a button and usually I get the call back right away, and it's somebody in California. It's not like some of the overseas.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. Maybe there is a difference.
Yeah, mine's definitely someone in California, and I can.
Yep.
And yeah, there's no communication breakdown at all. So
The only ones I've used are the chat that when you ask for help and then you're talking like someone in the chat, which they're always pretty helpful for me, but I've never had them call me.
that's
at least not in a while.
Is that through eBay? I've heard people talk about the Facebook one too, but that's through eBay, like eBay
through
chat.
eBay.
That's
Yeah.
AI. You're talking to Chad GPT over there.
It could be, but yeah, it's better than Chat GPT with
Better
the
than-
logos we're working on. Yeah, they're actually helpful.
The logos. Do you have the logo? You guys.
Yeah.
We have concepts of now. Hold on. I'm gonna go here. Keith has an amazing logo. Keith's logo is legendary. Me and Ray are working on our concepts, and it's not our fault. Chad doesn't know what an IKEA bag is, and apparently, when I say Chad, I'm talking about Chat GPT or AI. And apparently, Chad doesn't know how to put stuff on a table without it floating in the air.
Yeah.
So with that, we're working on a logo, guys, and we're going to ask for you guys' help on this logo, but we want to give you the concepts of where we're at right now. I think Keith's going to share on the screen. If you're listening on your favorite audio platform, come over to YouTube and look at these logos, and you'll see the concepts. And then Keith's logo is done. Like Keith's logo to me is legendary.
We're gonna have you vote.
We're
We're gonna have you guys vote on the concept, right? I mean,
yeah.
here-
So
here's-
viewers, listeners, we're gonna ask you guys to vote on it. So this is my concept. It's
This is
I mean, I've been known to make bad logos, and this just falls right in line with that.
I
Like
just
my
thought that you were
idea.
ready to go first.
Thanks, Keith. Thanks for just going.
I wasn't sure you're ready for it.
Thanks for raw dogging that logo, right?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a great concept for the podcast, right? Buy it all. That it's an empty table. You already bought it all. I get the concept. Yeah.
I want Chad to make it look like there's random items sitting on a yard sale table that spell out, but it's letters that say buy it all.
Yeah.
And that's my concept. AI is just struggling to get what's in here there.
Did you tell it specific items to put as letters?
Yeah. No, I
didn't
Ray,
do that. Yeah.
You've never seen, I mean, you probably have, but if you've never seen a grown man arguing with Chad GPT, you could have seen it last night. I was like, Chad, I want them to be 3D objects that spell out buy it all. I want them to look like they're randomly sitting on the table. And he would go, I understand where I made my mistake. I completely understand. You want these to look like inanimate objects that are sitting on the table, blah, blah, blah. And then I would go, all right, you understand what I'm saying. Make it happen. And then they would be, and this is Keith's revision. My revision, the items were always floating in the air like they were in outer space or something like that. Like he could not put them on the table. And he would say, I understand you want them on the table. And then I'd say, okay, make it happen. And then they'd still be floating in the air. So anyway, we're working on that. Anyways, this is my concept. This is not my logo.
Truthfully, okay. Is the best stuff on top of the table or underneath the table?
Well, it depends on what we're talking about now, Ray. We talking about yard sales anymore?
Yeah.
I mean, I do like under the table though. There are some gold under the table if you had to dig. I mean, this stuff hasn't. Yeah.
Oh yeah. I'm too. Listen, as a bigger guy, sometimes I miss under the table. Saying. I'm getting better at it. I want to ask, did you find your Britney Spears stand-ups under the table?
Nope.
Nope. All right.
All right, so that's concept 1. Concept 2.
You were making fun of my logo. Your grandma bag logo over here. This is the grandma bag concept.
That was not as grandma bag. Like the other one looked like a person, and all I need to do was add those granny glasses, a pearl necklace, and some hard candies.
Take the helmet and the controller out of it and put some knitting, one of those knitting tools,
hard candies in there.
Hard candy.
All right, which one? What hard candy? Is the worst hard candy?
Werther's original.
I like Werther's. I know Kevin. Kevin's
Werther's too.
Yeah, it's smooth and buttery. A Werther's.
Yeah.
There's little like unbranded like butterscotch tasting ones. They're the worst. They're the worst.
Anything that tastes like black licorice. There you go. Ugh.
See, I like
that black licorice taste. No.
Some of the mints are not good. I feel like some of the mints.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, this would have the tin that has all the loose hard candy. These wouldn't be packaged at all.
Yeah.
It would just be a tin that says hard candy on it. And so that's supposed to be an IKEA bag.
Yeah.
We all know that IKEA, that looks more like a boat and tow, which is close. It's got the holes. IKEA bags don't have the holes for the handles. But that's Ray's, what did I call it? Your concept is closer than mine. Much closer than mine.
Yeah. But I went through
I have a problem with
AIs.
the Cleveland Browns helmet though.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you ask for Browns? Because are you a Ravens fan, Ray?
Yes. Yep.
Okay. So yeah, he probably didn't purposely have the Browns in there.
Because your team is actually the Browns. I got you. I went there, Ray.
Sorry, they're coming back this weekend, and Flacco's not going to leave.
Oh wow. Oh, that's it. I didn't know they were playing this weekend.
Yep.
So that's concept 2.
Flacco's first time back at the bank. So
concept 3.
That is
best for last.
Yeah, a little money wheel action going on.
Keith's concept came to fruition. Is that the right word?
Yeah, very nice. Yeah.
Look at me delving into words. That is a beautiful logo. I love it. I'm already sold, but we're gonna have the vote. I don't want to skew the vote, guys. I need to simmer down. I don't want to skew the vote, but we're gonna have, once all the concepts are complete, like this one, we're gonna do a poll on the YouTube channel for you guys to vote and help us with finding the logo. The name is definitely gonna be Buy It All. I think we all my thought behind that, and I've had that name for a while, is we love to say that at a sale. Like I love to be at a sale where there's a bunch of good items, like a collection or whatever, and it's priced really well, and I know it's got some value to it, and I love to say, I'm buying it all. Like buy it all. And then
you always get a price that way. Yeah.
Ray made a good point. Ray, what do you like to hear when you're selling at the flea market or something like that?
If I want somebody to come by to buy it all, like I want to get rid of it.
You want someone to come up and say, I'm buy it all. Yep.
Yeah. So it goes both ways. It works great. I think what's funny, I think one of your videos before, Jimmy, that you were somewhere. I don't even know where you were, but I like the what you were buying, and it looks like you're about to buy in bulk. And I said, buy it all. I think I said buy it all actually on one year.
I think you even commented on it, maybe, that you said for me to buy it all. I don't remember what it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, I think I commented.
Okay, yeah. Well, and I didn't buy it all, did I?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I've been slacking on my. It's been a while since I edited a video. I'm gonna maybe get back to it one day. But the real reason we're gonna use the name is because it does really good with the algorithm. YouTube algorithm love that.
Just care about the algorithm.
That's all we care about over here at the buy it. I almost said reseller leftovers. That's my. Sorry
If
about
you
that.
said that, I'm done.
You're done.
I'm not coming back.
Hey, well, at least I didn't say clickbait. Yes, and that's way back.
But is there anything worse when you're building a pile at a yard sale, a flea market, and you have a big pile of stuff there, and they're like, "How much do you want for that?" And they're like, then they start like itemizing it out, like, "I want 20 for this, 40 for that."
Yeah.
Right? I mean, I just want a blanket number. I don't want to be thinking item by item by item. Just throw the number total at me. So that's why you want to buy it all, because you obviously. I think Dave, ADH Dave, had a video where he was buying. I think there were a bunch of like action figures, and it would have totaled up to like $800, and the person told him 200 for it all.
Wow.
And he was like shocked at the price. So you generally do a lot better price.
I do see a lot of, though, when I make the pot. I usually before if the price, I'll make a pile just about anytime. But I usually, if the prices are good, I'm definitely working on a pile.
Yeah.
Or I'll ask them, hey, if I make a pile, will you give me a deal? That's if the prices seem a little bit higher than really good. But like, the prices will be a little bit higher, and I'll ask them, hey, can you give me a deal if I buy a lot? And I'll put stuff in the pile that doesn't have prices or whatever, and they'll start adding it up, and I'll ask like, hey, can you add it up, and then we'll take some off of that total? Is that what we're doing here? And that's the time I like it, because I used to have an estate sale company in Denver when I lived there, where that's what the guy would. He would like, he was the owner. When you come to check out, come to me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add it all up, and then I'll cut some off. And so I really enjoyed that. Like, I was like, what kind of discounts are you going to give me this time? And so he would add it all up, and then he'd be like, came to $350. How about we do $275? Yes, let's do it. What I mean?
Yeah. Oh, and I agree with that. I like that kind of negotiation. It's more like when you're like negotiating every item.
Yeah.
And then the next item you're negotiating, and the next item. Yeah. Right. You doing it the way you do it.
I had a private pick probably about 4 years ago, and I think it's probably one of the worst private picks I've had, because the person selling all this stuff was itemizing every single item, and just the whole time. And I mean, sure, some stuff was cheap. It was like $1, but I'm like, but then like I probably spent 2 to 3 hours there when it probably would have only been an hour. I made my pile probably within. It took me like an hour to make my whole pile once I went through the whole entire house.
Oh yeah,
yeah. It was
not
ridiculous.
only is time is money in that situation, but man, you could have been on to whatever's next. If you were going, like, especially if I'm at a yard sale and I spent a bunch of time at a yard sale, and then the prices suck and you end up not even buying. Sometimes you don't even buy anything, and you spent 45 minutes there, and you could have been at the next sale buying stuff. Oh yeah, that sucks.
Oh yeah.
This is a topic I don't want to go too deep into, because I think we should save it for another episode, because it's a huge topic that I think we need to discuss, and it's going to have, I'm going to only bring it up because it was part of this negotiation. What we're talking about right now is Google Lens. I don't want to go deep into Google Lens, because it's right now, I feel it's our biggest enemy is Google Lens. I know a lot of us use it as a tool, but we'll talk about it. Maybe next week. I'll make sure to write that down. We'll talk about why I feel like Google Lens is becoming an enemy for us resellers. And I think you guys have an idea why, but I want to talk about this right here. And this is kind of to tell you why. I bought this. I found this at a yard sale. Brand new.
Ooh.
Sealed from 1990, 1993 or something like that? 1992. G.I. Joe, what was it? A G.I. Joe detonator, sealed, vintage G.I. Joe vehicle with the figure. Like
wow.
Basically, like something you don't find. You don't find that. Yeah. And so I found that at a garage sale. I asked her how much for it. She said $35. I'm like, okay, we don't have to negotiate. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm taking it. It's going in my personal collection anyways. So I put it in my pile, and I had a pile going, and this is where I should have just paid and got out of there, right? This is kind of what race up. I didn't. I just kept building my pile. While I was building the pile, her husband lensed it.
Oof.
And Google Lens gave him a bad number of like almost $400. And so he said to her, I just looked that up on Google, and she goes, how much is it worth? He's like, you don't want to know. And so I kind of got not mean. I didn't get mean at all, but I was a little blunt about it. But nice, very nice tone in there. You know, you guys going to change the price? Is the price going to change on it because you looked it up? And she goes, no, I'll honor what I told you, 35. And then she goes, but how much is it worth to her husband? And he goes, almost $400. And she's like, oh my God, that's my fault because I didn't look it up and blah, blah, blah. And at that point, I'm like, had my wallet out. I'm like, how much do I owe you? Like, and the thing that really was like, I had a bunch of vintage Disney t-shirts in there that were, you know, I've sold multiple of them already for $30, $40 a piece. And those were $1 a piece at the sale. So they didn't take the time to look that up. Anyway, so I got out of there quick. But man, like that was so like, I thought for sure they're going to take it out of the policy. You can't have it. Yeah. So it leads to me something that I do. Like if I am at a sale and there's a ton of stuff and I'm making pile, sometimes I will check out and then come back. It's a little bit easier here because the competition isn't crazy. Like there's a lot of times I'm at, like for instance, that sale, I was there. I was the only one there. There was no other shoppers. I'm there by myself. So I could have done that. I could have checked out, bought some of the stuff, and then came back and shopped some more. And I do that. Yeah. It's a little bit harder to do when there's competition shopping with you. But
that's smart though. That's smart to do that before you leave. I mean, and then you can keep digging. But if you got a good enough deal, like you said, it's risking just letting it sit there.
Yeah,
I had a buddy do that. He was we were at a paper show, and he was looking at a comic book and asked the guy the price, and it was like $100, which was a great deal. Yeah. And he lingered around, kept looking around for like 20 minutes, and then he stayed long enough for the guy's like, that's $500. I made a mistake. If he would have just handed out the $100, the deal was done, right? So yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a big factor in my idea of that is, first of all, if the prices are really good, and if you're getting something like this is worth about $250-ish.
Yeah.
That's a sold comp on it. It's not worth almost $400. That's where Google Lens was wrong.
Yeah.
You know, it's not worth $400. It's worth a little bit less than $300. So there's $100 difference there. You know, the people, if you're not a reseller, you'll say, well, you should have gave her more. Maybe if you are a reseller, you're going to say, I should have gave her more. But we already had a deal. We had a price.
Yeah.
It was her price too, not mine. But yeah, that's when that, like, if you don't have an amazing find in your pile and you're just trying to get a pile deal, then you don't want to do that. But if you're like, man, I got this piece in there that's amazing that I just want to make sure I get, that's when I do that. Normally I do. I'm like, I'm going to pay for this stuff and then I'm going to come back and shop. I've said that. Ask Sonia. I say that all the time. I'm going to pay for this stuff and then I'm going to come back and look around a little bit more just to make sure I get that item in my car, paid for, and the deal is done.
Smart. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, really at the end of the day, we, you know, our job is to find underpriced stuff, you know, at sales. So that's where we're going to have our most success is when somebody didn't look something up. Yeah. You know, if somebody looks something up, regardless, whether it's AI or not, they look it up, the probability that we're going to buy it goes down significantly.
Yep. I mean, you have out here, it's, you have people that are ready to move stuff out here. I don't, you know, it didn't happen as often in the big city, but like, you know, that estate sale guy that I will talk about earlier, he was that guy. He would look it up. He knew what it was worth, but he embraced us. I always told him, like, me and him had a lot of conversations, like, you know, I feel like you're doing it the right way, man. Like maybe you're not, but you're smart. That's smart. Like, you know, and he would have lines. He would have before every single one of his estate sales, he'd have 200 resellers lined up ready to shop. I mean, smart, you knew you had to be at his sale super early. And yeah, maybe he's not getting his margins are enough to where he was like, I want to make sure you guys have margins there. So I'm gonna price stuff for the resellers. And he would, and you know, maybe if his company that he's doing the estate sale for knew that, people he was doing this, they might not like that as much. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they saw the results. Like people are lined up to come to his estate sales.
Yeah.
So he embraced sales. He would straight up tell me, like, I love
that's awesome. I mean, a lot of estate sales, you go to the final day and it's almost packed because they priced it like at market. But yeah, that guy's smart. Their goal is to get in that estate and clear the estate out.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's smart.
A lot of the time, you know, especially in a place like Denver, the value's in the house anyways. Like the house is worth $500,000 or more. They just want the stuff out of those so they can sell the dang house and get their, you know, if that's what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So yeah, he was an awesome guy. I just messaged him on Facebook like a couple weeks ago. Like, man, I miss your estate sale so much. Like, I want to go back and just go to one of his estate sales. I like tell him, hey, if you come across a really, really good estate sale, let me know and I'll come back and just go to one of your sales. Anyway,
Yeah, it sucks when you lose a honey hole like that, like somebody you depend on. Like me going to flea market all the time, the amount of vendors that have like turnover over the years, the guys that got out buying storage units and stuff like that, like it so many of them have like retired from doing it.
That's another. I think that's another good topic, and I want to write that down, like, because I want some advice for starters and some ideas, because I struggle so far in Ohio sourcing in the winter. I have an auction I can go to. There's not a and I want to, there's questions I want to ask. Like, I'll just ask this one, but I don't want to go too much into it because I think it's a good topic for us to talk about for a while on another episode. Is
Especially when it's colder,
especially with winter coming up. Like, where I'm at, we don't have a lot of tag sales, estate sales. They're not regular. I have to check every weekend, and in most weekends there's not one. Every once in a while, let's say once a month, one will pop up and I can go to it. Maybe lucky if I get twice a month in my general area. I can go to Cleveland, I can go to Columbus. Both are an hour and a half away, and there's multiple estate sales. I want to know, do you think it would be worth my while to get up on the weekends every weekend and go to estate sales in those big cities?
I would. It depend on the sale. I would scout them out, look at all the images.
That's what so I would have to spend the time scouting stuff out. So no matter what, that would be the answer I was looking for. Like, you think it's worth it for me to at least go scout out a couple weekends and see what they look like and see how much.
You never know. If you look, it's like jam packed with toys, and it's probably worth getting first in line. Right. And yeah.
All right, and that's what I got to work on. And just advice in general, how to source in a small town in the winter where there's no tag sales, there's no yard sales, it's auctions and thrift stores. And we don't have a lot of. I mean, I do have a bins that I can go to, and that's usually what I end up going to in the winter is the bins.
Yeah, and there's a lot of out of the box things you could do, which would be a great topic, I think. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'm thinking of one thing now.
All right, let's save that because I think we could talk about that for a while, and we're getting close to the end of this episode. I'm not supposed to say you're not supposed to say that because then people start leaving because they're like, oh, the show's over, I'm leaving. Was there anything else?
Yeah.
Was there anything else that we want to talk about, or anything you guys want to hit on before we leave?
I don't know if your find of the week you talked about, was that your find of the week, Jimmy? Your GI Joe, or was that an older?
To do that because we're the buy it all. We wanted to kind of do a find of the week. Let's do that. Let's maybe we can end the show every week with the find of the week instead of the sale of the week or your sold item of the week. We want to find what was your your find of the week. You guys have one ready?
I do.
You got one of those Britney Spears things ready, Ray?
Well, I bought them a while ago. I've been working through them. So
man, that's gonna be like an ongoing thing. I'm sorry, Ray. I apologize.
No. Hold on.
What's that jersey?
I got something different.
Bench warmers. That's cool. Oh, look at that.
Oh, is that what? I can't even read that. Nice. That's it.
Let me think.
Napoleon Dynamite.
What was my find of the week? You have one that you have ready? I got one ready. Keith's ready. Keith comes.
I'm ready. Yeah, it's a toy too, Jimmy. It's a toy right up your alley. But this is out of the you want to
go ahead? I was going to ask you where it come from. Yeah,
it was out of the basement.
All right,
out of the basement. Yeah, we pulled this out on Friday, so we have in the box. It's a
shut the front door, dude.
Yeah, 1978 or 79.
It's got a Cylon in there, and then
Battlestar Galactica, like
that's pretty cool.
All right, you message me. You need to message me on that one.
We'll do. Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
You can go. Yeah.
Yeah, there's nice strong comps on this one. I love it. Yeah,
one of my favorite shows from a childhood is Battlestar Galactica. Oh man,
so we found a bunch of cool action figures in this estate. We pulled I sent Jimmy a text, a big group of Planet of the Apes and Mego. There's GI Joes. So we're finding some cool stuff like that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, I got a little crazy right there because man, that literally stuff like that takes me back to being when I was a kid. I see that and I had those toys.
Did you?
It takes me back to being. Oh heck yeah, I love Battlestar Galactica. All right, sorry, I'm sorry.
No, you're
I'm
good.
still trying to think of my find of the week.
I
what do you
got
got?
one. I really haven't been sourcing too much lately because I really been trying to clear out my spare bedroom. I have this listed with, I mean, listing anything I can from up there. It's been completely full for as long as I can remember. So, but me and my wife, we actually went out sourcing. Was it Tuesday to one of my honey holes, and so this is just in time for Christmas. It's
Dude, how old is that?
Like a dexterity
Lisa
puzzle?
Frank.
Oh, wow.
Lisa Frank, that's sweet.
Very cool.
Yeah, she found this. So my wife found this,
That's
and
cool.
I think it's like a $30 comp.
It's like a sticker set. I can't really tell what it is.
It's like holiday glitter cards.
Okay.
Yeah, that's cool, man.
But
Yeah.
you can
Anytime
see
I
what
see
I
that
paid
logo,
for.
I get
50 cents.
And I so it was on clearance then because it has the $2.99 in the middle,
Probably. Well, that was probably what it sold for.
like the
Back
original
is-
price, right?
Yeah.
And then they
And then
clearance
the
it
others,
out.
the other stickers, I don't know what they are, but the 50-cent stickers from where I got it from.
All right, so I don't have
Nice.
my item in hand, but I just found it today.
Oh, wow.
It's still in my car. But check out this. Yeah, this was my find of the week because I was out today picking. Look at that crackle glass, swung like.
Oh, wow. Unique shape.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's worth about. It's part of a bundle that I paid $45 for. Like we were talking about, I made a pile, and then she was like, "Yeah, it was literally we'll add it up, and I'll take some." I came with like $55, and she's like, "How about 45? All right, I'll take it." Yeah, and this is worth 80 to 90 by itself, so this is gonna pay for everything.
Nice. Is that like Amarina? What is that color called? Is that?
Yeah, that's like exactly like Amberina.
Wow.
Yeah, and it's
Amberina?
got so you
Okay.
can't see, but it's crackle glass too. You know the crackle glass.
Yeah.
It's got the applied handle, and it's like a swung looking craft. It's a cool piece. Yeah, and I got a little bit of video on my phone to put on Facebook. That's another topic we need to talk about, the death of my Facebook, but we'll talk about that another day.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was cool. I think Keith wins the find of the week.
Yeah.
Because
Thank you.
that might end up being my find of the week if I have.
Yeah, maybe next week this will be ending with the Battlestar Galactica.
Clear off this shelf right here. One of the turtles right there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah. I had an unfair advantage with this one. I haven't really been to a flea market in a while. So
it's unfair in many ways, Keith. It's unfair that you have
my
that
apologies.
you get to do. Keith is digging through the most amazing basement in the world right now, and I'm having to drive to yard sales that are hardly there in the winter.
Well, we don't have any yard sale. I don't know about you, Ray, but we don't have Thursday yard sales in Pennsylvania.
No.
Yeah, I was like yard sale. I probably hit 7 of them today.
There's estate sales every once in a while, but around here, but it's very.
That's another thing we should talk about because I've talked about it before on other podcasts. But yeah, I'm at yard sales in the middle of the summer, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. I'm at yard sales every single one of those days, all day too. Like I was just on the Finders Flippers podcast, guys. Go check that out. That should be coming out soon. The Finders Flippers podcast. I was just on there, and we talked about that a little bit. How it's almost like a highway sale every weekend for me, here in Ohio, because I am picking Wednesday through Saturday. I don't even by Sunday. There's still sales on Sunday, but I'm like so tired. I'm like, you know what? And they're not good. They're so picked over by Sunday that we don't really go out on Sunday and pick. But yeah. Kind of crazy. We'll talk about that a little bit too in a future episode of what's this podcast called, Ray? I don't remember.
Buy it all.
Buy it all. That's the first episode, though, guys. That was a lot of fun. I think it was a lot of fun, and I want to thank you guys for coming to hang out with me. I think this is going to be a fun podcast.
Yeah, it's a blast.
And
I agree.
I want to thank everybody that watched and commented, and we have some big news coming up already in the second episode. You'll want to make sure you come over here to Old School Flips for the second episode because we're going to have some big news right off the bat about what we're doing with this podcast. We look forward to seeing you guys and talking with you guys next week right here on Buy It All Podcast. I can't end it.